So as the tide comes in, actually it's going out right now, but what we're looking over is a bulge of water that moves around with tidal activity. Just so you know, that's really close. That's a few miles away there. 8 inches per mile squared on a spinning water sphere can't be found. If you find it, go ahead and link the proof on my channel. Link it in a comment. I may let it stay there. Metabunk is Metajunk. Metabunk is Mick West, and he's part of the controlled opposition. So I'll put myself on the screen so you can know I just said something, and you can check it out if you want. We've got optical limitations, point of perspective related to vantage point. A gallon of water, do you know how much it weighs? Well, it depends on temperature. That variant drives the water cycle of the world, the hydrologic cycle of the world, evaporation, condensation, precipitation. At high altitudes with temperature differentials, we'll get snow. We'll get hail. True science confirms the accuracy of the biblical proclamation that we live on a stationary earth with the sun, moon, and stars moving above us. The celestial luminaries, if you prefer. This is the Myrtle Beach skyline. I'm at the Cherry Grove fishing pier right now. Wind is coming from my back northeast at about 5 miles an hour right now. We're expecting to have about 20 million guests a year that have visited this year. I just attended the Skyfall conference, had an opportunity to speak there on the panel discussion, as well as to give my testimony and talk a little bit about some of the work that I do out here. On a clear day, we can see the whole skyline, no problem. The tidal activity is about an hour different over in at the North Myrtle Beach, or at the Myrtle Beach Airport, Myrtle Beach International Airport, which is about 25 miles away as the eagle flies or the camera views. Job 37 proclaims the sun is in the midst of the clouds. It's pretty mysterious. You can hashtag local sun and see it if you want to. That's one of the titles that I have. This shows like real, I'm going to reactivate this. Tides Near Me is an effective app at indicating tidal activity and sun and the moon activity here as well, where they appear and vanish and when. In the summertime, the sunrise is way over in the middle of the view there from this vantage point, and today it came up way over here. Do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, gyrating? One of the other categories that I have of video would be called beams. That's the inverted, impossible view of life on a globe. The globe exists in the imagination and in the classrooms and in a high level of indoctrination that's going to require divine intervention to work through all the deception. Where in the world could people walk upside down in relationship to other people? The upside down world exists only in the imagination, folks. Water flies off a spinning ball, spins off of the clothes in your washing machine. Buoyancy even works in the air. Lighter than floats, heavier than falls. Birds overcome it with aerodynamics. You can look at true science, verifiable, repeatable. You could check it out. So if you hashtag Veeams, you'll see upside down and sideways, bulldozers, people, puppy dogs. It's not possible. It's imaginary. WaterSeek's level covers the face of the stationary and level Earth. There would be no level anywhere on a spinning water sphere. The physics and property of water totally debunk the impossibility of the globe. I don't need a laser test to prove that there's no curvature. We've got long distance photography, videography, and no matter how much of the evidence I or anybody else would be able to compile for you, it's going to require your desire, or whoever, the individual, the desire to know the truth about this matter. And so many more. There's a veritable kaleidoscope of conspiracies on my liked video playlist. Now, one of the details of that, since many channels will not allow a hyperlink to go live immediately visible on the comments, I've had to get creative with, like, for example, posting my phone number or my name. If you see a hashtag and then my name with a space in between so it doesn't go live, that's my way of telling you to go ahead and hashtag my name if you want. You'll find a tremendous amount of content. I've got nothing to hide at all. I'm hiding in plain sight, actually. Artificial intelligence is a huge threat to the existence of humanity. We're in a battle between God's family, who created the world and everything else, and then Satan's family, the usurper, deceiver. And it's a powerful reality to be aware of. So I'm exposing it. And no matter how many of the actual conspiracies you're able to determine, unless you're born again, born of God's Spirit, it won't even matter for eternity. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. That's a powerful reality to be aware of. So I mentioned many of the actual conspiracies. I would like to also mention the sovereignty of God. He's in charge, and there's nothing in this world that's going to happen that he doesn't cause or allow, as best I can tell. Now, there are many people that say they love the Word of God and believe it. Do they really? And the big question is, are they born again yet? Will they ever be born again? I thought I was born again in 1982, until I actually was in 2014. One of the advantages of zooming in on boats that are only half visible here, with rigging and all that, is I'm shooting across the tidal activity. That's part of what's going on here. Just a little bit of elevation makes a difference in the higher is drier and lower is wetter. If you want to know where the edge is, hashtag firmament. It's the structure above us that separates the waters above from the waters below. The flood that Noah prepared for had 3 water sources: the floodgates of heaven, the fountains of the deep, and caused it to start raining. How about that? So there are ministries like creationministry.com, Answers in Genesis. I found different answers. I believe the accurate biblical proclamation is that we live on a stationary and level earth. Where do I get level? Well, Luke 5 talks about it. Jesus spoke on a level place. There would be no level if we had all the movement that NASA says we have. NASA lies. Not always, just way too often for me to trust what they're saying about distances of the sun and the moon. They're very close. I've got fine detail zoomed in on with my P1000 and P900 cameras, and you can explore this from other sources as well. If we left a rover and a flag on the moon, I believe I could see it with the technology that I use, or that you can see from other telescopes and that. But what I would say too here is that people largely believe the lie they want to believe, as best I can tell. So one of the things that I mentioned about artificial intelligence is it's modifying the food, water, air, and all the data that goes all around the world. There's a lot of deception. I'm not standing in front of a green screen. I'm standing in front of you at the ocean out here at the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. This is all, as best I can tell, real. Like Morpheus says, what is real? What we can see, taste, feel, touch. It gets a little more complicated because a lot of what we see is fabricated computer graphic imagery. Seeing is believing what? What do we see and what do we believe about it? Is what we believe true, or the lie that we want to believe? I seriously believe it's only by God's grace that anybody can love and believe the truth, let alone find it. So a couple of things I wanted to show you. One of them is my shirt. And if you want to do me a tremendous favor and hashtag my name. As best I can tell, what I've been told is I'm the #1 result when you hashtag Robert Forsch. There's like over 3,000 posts there. When I post my photo album, and I do quite often, there's almost 3,000 photos there that have my liked videos playlist linked to the photos in there. So there's millions of occurrences of my liked video playlist. Now you may think that you can just search whatever you want and get the result you want. Well, what I'd like you to consider is when you type in a word search and you get millions of pages, how many of those millions of pages do you search through to find what you're looking for? Just let that sink in. Artificial intelligence gives us each an individual result based on more than our search history. It gives us a result on how the system wants to manipulate our perspective and control what we see and what we believe. can hashtag nanotechnology. I'm bathing in baking soda and boron and purified water. A cup of baking soda, a cup of Mule 20-team borax, which is boron. It's not soap. It's boron. It's a mineral. There's health benefits to it. I'm going to hashtag that and link borax and baking soda in the results or in the description. Sodium fluoride is toxic. It's in much of the water supply of our country and a few others. It's a neurotoxin. Our world is filled with neurotoxins that can be activated with electronics, cell towers, 5G, Wi-Fi, and probably more. Satellites exist in a different form than we're told. High altitude balloon type components, as well as projected frequencies off of the firmament for communication systems. A lot of underwater submarine cables. I've met people that install them. So the truth, what will you do with the truth when it's right in front of you? Will you believe it? Or will you believe the lie? If you would like YouTube Truth stickers, you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to me, Robert Forsch, YouTube Truth. The name of the channel is just Truth. If you hashtag it, you'll find it, or my name. 169 Cloverleaf Drive, Longs, South Carolina, 29568. Should you like to call me, my phone number is a anytime number, 1-843-504-1776. Thank you so much.